This here is Hot 97. There was a shooting here with between the camps of Little Kim and Foxy Brown. And apparently what happened was that Foxy Brown aligned herself with Capone and Noriega, and Little Kim was with Junior Mafia. So we're on records already between Foxy and Little Kim.
Hot damn hole, here we go again. Pop shit like a cock, lightweight as your rocks, bitch. You talk slick, fuck is all that sneak shit. You and Diddy, y'all kill me with that subliminal shit, bitch. Why is you frontin' and kicking that street shit? Please impress me, go back to that freak shit. While your broke ass was guzzling nuts and shit.
Hot damn hole, here we go again. Light as a rock, hard as a... This not for blocks through hard tops in the parking lots where my rock like the spark a lot. My Brooklyn style speak for itself like a wrestler. Another notch under my belt. The embezzler, chrome treasurer, the UNO competitor. I'm 10 steps ahead of ya. I'm a leader. Y'all on some following shit. Coming in this game on some modeling shit. This suck just to get to the top. I put 100% in every line.
In 2000, Kim ends up dropping her second album, Notorious K.I.M. Another big album. And on that album, and that song, Notorious K.I.M., Kim ends up dissing Foxy Brown.
Live from NYC is QB, the heavyweight champ, female MC. Girls say they different, but you see, in all actuality, they wanna be me. This chick running around with a stink-ass gap and a fake-ass raps, having panic attacks. You ain't a star, and your record company know. How you make all this money, get this far and blow? I'm a businesswoman now, so I'm not concerned. I bet on little C's before you and your firm. If this was back in the days, I would've been smacked you, and I'm getting money now. My bitches in the hood, I get at you. Stop paying these niggas to write y'all shit. For the right cream, I write a hot 16. You better be careful what you say to me. That same shit you shit, I'ma make you snitch.
And the beef between Kim and Foxy, the way it started, it seems like no one really knows. Like there's a rumor that it was about wearing the same outfit or something like that, but no one really has gone on record to talk about it. But
I don't know.
To make a long story short, Kim comes out and she disses Foxy Brown. And then on Capone Noriega's song, Bang Bang, Foxy ends up dissing Kim. And she kind of mentions the whole Biggie thing, let your, N-word rest in peace and hop off his, et cetera, et cetera. So then you guys run into a situation at Hot 97. Capone was leaving as you guys were coming in. An argument breaks out and a shooting happens.
No, we were leaving and they was coming up. We was leaving, they pulled up, they had a few cats with them, and words was exchanged, then some shots was exchanged, pretty much.
Well, according to the reports, they say that you fired at least 20 shots during that time. And this guy named Efrain Ocasio got shot.
Roll and just get out of control. And did you have any regrets from that?
Shit, I got every amount of regret from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like being that, I told y'all in the beginning, Big, when we were talking about Big wanted to sign me. I think he rolled over in his grave when that happened. Because I'm not gonna go in details, but when the shit popped off, C's looked at me and was like, "What are we doing?" Mm-hmm. Because he was there when Big wanted to sign. He looking at me like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like he didn't want no parts of what was about to transpire. And I think he knew what was about to transpire, and if it was up to him, he would have probably stopped it. But at that point, you got to roll with the rush. You can't choose sides. You got to be loyal to who you loyal to. And that's why me and Caesars, they're the best homies to this day. Like, we understood the stance we had to take on both our sides of the team. But at the end of the day, that was something that I'm totally regretful of. I wish never happened. I would have still made the record. I'm not going to say that I would change anything with the record because I respect what Fox had to say. They're just like, you got to respect every other record that Foxy and Little Kim beefed on. That wasn't the first record that Foxy said something about Little Kim. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was just the instance where Hot 97 fucked up. They should have never booked us back to back, knowing that we had Bang Bang out at that time. Like, how the fuck you book us back to back? You don't book Snoop and you don't book Tupac and Biggie back to back to do an all-star weekend. You don't book Game and 50 Cent back to back when you know they're beefing. And what happened with Game and 50 Cent?
Outside of Hot 97.
The same exact shit.
The same shit.
So you don't like. I feel like no disrespect to Hot 97 because I don't think that they understood the temperature of hip hop at the time. Like, niggas is not playing. Like, we're at a point where right now you got niggas in New York, niggas in LA, niggas everywhere. The temperature was crazy in hip hop at the time. And I don't think they really thought that. I think they thought it was just music. And they didn't understand until 23, 24 shots was fired in broad daylight at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that shit is real. And then they go do it again. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And I think that at that point in time, that's when they start realizing, all right, we pre-recording shows. That's why I remember I said, about the pre-recording shit. They start pre-recording shows and shit because you got to know who you booking and the times like they could have had us 2 hours later. And history would be different. I would have had a solo album on Def Jam. There was a lot of shit that fucked. Little Kim would have never went to jail. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is wait 2 hours to book us. And the world could have been a different place.
I had a Mac 11. And I had it on the strap under my, and I had on the a car vest. So while me and Capone was talking, I think his man seen the gun. And he either pulled out and tried to bust or it went off. And that's how everything, transpired from there.
It's a funny story that nobody even knows about. Oh my God. It was actually Little Kim who introduced us. If I can remember, it was AZ. I'm thinking Nas was on the phone, Kim was on the phone, and they were freestyling and back and forth or whatever, and they asked him to freestyle. And she was like, hold on, let me go get my ace, hold on. And she clicked over and was like, yo, I got AZ, and da-da-da, and the other line, yo, I need you to come on the line, and da-da. So I got on and just bodied the whole conversation. And A was like, yo, where is she right now? I want to see her. So he came, it's my block in Brooklyn, pulled up in full black GS. And from the moment he and I saw each other, it was just spark.
I want to make one thing clear. Okay. We were never, ever supposed to be on that Summer Jam stage together. Ever. That was not true. She was coming out on an earlier song and earlier in his set, and I was coming out on a later song, and that's how it was, and that's just what it was.
That's
you know
all
what I mean?
It was.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, no.
Yeah, well, when I heard it was going to happen, I was like, damn, what an amazing moment that would have been, and did y'all talk? You and her never talked about it.
Yeah, for me, it would have been an amazing moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So much damage has been done. Okay. So much evil things have been done. And if I was to have that moment, I love you, Fab, but I wouldn't give Fab that moment. It would have to be a moment that God organically put together.
The story goes that Fab was going to bring you guys out at some point in this show. You weren't on time or didn't make it for what you weren't on time, or you were late, and so therefore his show got cut short because of it, because they wanted to make that moment happen with you and Lil' Kim. That's what I heard. I wasn't at Summer Jam, But this is what I heard. So,
Scary. It's so scary. I never thought I would miss the days of like Paula Froelich and Wendy Williams. I never thought I would ever say I would miss those days.
Yeah.
No, really. But at least there was an ounce of validity to to their reportings back then. You know what I mean? Even if it was salacious or scandalous, there was some kind of like validity, a piece. Like now there's just like it's just totally erroneous and buffoonish rumors that are just like, where do these people get this stuff from?
Yeah.
No, Fab. Anybody that saw Summer Jam's pictures, they saw Foxy Brown on stage. The pictures with Raekwon and I on stage.
Yeah.
Foxy Brown was never late. Let's see. It's a touchy situation because I have a lot of respect for Fab. You know, my brother and Fab are like brothers, and we're all from Brooklyn, and I love them. So I don't really want to go there.
Okay.
But let's just say that it wasn't orchestrated properly, and when you have something of that magnitude.
Yeah.
I understand. I have a brain. I'm an intelligent girl. I understand the epicness of those two huge, the biggest female rappers in a game to change the game, to come together and touch mics is phenomenal. But some part of that, somewhere along the way, some part of that has to feel real.
Yeah.
It has to be real. Meaning, if Fab called me and said, Fox, I want you to come out and perform with me on Summer Jam. I said, okay. I said, Fab, I'm still in the oven baking. Meaning, I'm still, you know, you bake the cake and you stick the fork in, you're like, it's not ready yet. I'm still baking. I'm different. Like I said, I'm cut from a different cloth. I know when it's time to be seen and when it's time and when it's not. And I'm just like, I'm not ready to come out right now. I'm just not. And he's like, no, baby, you have to come out. You got to come out, baby girl. Come on. So the show was always Fabulous and Foxy coming out. The night before, he called me and said, Ing, I said, what's that? He said, okay, I want to ask you something. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I want to ask you, you know, I want to see what you say. I know. Don't get mad at me. But understand my point. I said, what's up? He said, how would you feel if I brought Little Kim out with us on stage? I said, that'd be crazy for Brooklyn. Understand, I've always been the one to extend the olive branch. I've always been the one to, you know what I mean? That's why Nikki and I are the way we are. And that's why she gives me the respect that she gives me. I've always been that type of person. Roxanne Shante is my big sister. You know that. Sweet Tea. Like these people, these women I love. Like I'm not that kind. I'm not that. But I told Fab, I said, Fab. He said, this is going to be crazy. Oh my God, this is big. And this is Nas and Jay. Yeah. Remember when Nas and Jay, he was just so hype and he was in a moment. And I understand Fab's position because no one from Puff to Jay to Big to Russell to Farrakhan to Sharpton, no one could orchestrate.
Not even Obama?
That. You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. So for Fab to be the one to do that is huge. And he understood that. He understood that he would be the man on a whole nother level if he was able to do that. But I told him, I said, Fab, you have to understand. He's like, yeah, because that's, you know, when Nas and Jay came out, and it was the biggest thing for Summer Jam. So this is the same thing. I'm sorry, this is the same thing. I said, no, baby, it's not the same thing. Why? Because Jay and Nas conversed prior to coming out on stage. Yeah. And their beef, they were able to dead their beef before. The last time she and I really don't want to talk, make my interview about, you know, that situation. I'm going to touch on it and then move forward. But the last time she and I were even in the same vicinity, there was a shootout. The last comments I ever remember hearing her make about me, she laughed at the fact that I lost my hearing. So those things, when people do things like that and they have malicious intent, that's different than just a rap battle, than somebody saying, yo, you know what I mean? Like, yo, your shirt is too tight. You know, when you laugh at somebody and say, wow, they're deaf, ha 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 ha, that's like a little, you know what I mean? So I told Fab, I said, Fab, you know, it's different. So
it's sensitive.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. It's different. If it's real, and we can orchestrate a situation where it's real, then I'm with it.
We them boys that the ladies be talking about. Yeah, we the reason that them haters be running their mouth. I probably shitted on a lot of hoes talking about me. They probably mad I might have put on for a lot of